Welcome to Mind Your Mind. Mind Your Mind podcast is for busy people like you who want to enjoy life and free up their time and emotional space by learning valuable tools for self-care and mindfulness. Our weekly topics are filled with compelling discussions and practical solutions to increase your productivity and healthy living. I'm your host, Joseph Tropper, and I'm honored to have you here with me today.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 12, 5 Ways to Financial Sanity. And we all know that, budget is a really touchy topic. In fact, it's been said that in therapy, people will tell you all about their deepest, darkest secrets, but they won't talk about money. And I have found this to be something that is true. And so I'd like to try to check in with people about that. And so if you're listening to this at the privacy of your own home, or hopefully you're jogging, because that's what you're supposed to be doing while you're listening to this and exercising, let's take a real healthy look at money. And let's talk about 5 ways to really reach some financial sanity. We all know the disadvantages of the financial struggles that we face. First of all, just being in a tough spot leads us to depression, anxiety, lack of ability to sometimes care for ourselves and get the proper medical or mental health needs met. Debt is very overwhelming, crushing. It doesn't feel very good to owe anybody money. It doesn't feel very good to be a slave to other people that we owe money to, or to be chased around by debtors who are trying to get money from us. It also causes major issues in marriage and relationships. And in fact, the average American has about $18,000 of debt, which is just insane. Credit card debt, without any plan necessarily of how to even pay that off, which explains why so many people retire penniless and learn that they can't retire, and that the fact that they didn't save up for, during their working years does not really help their situation. There's one statistic which is really scary, that a $10,000 debt makes it that one marriage is 2 times more likely to end in divorce. So we know that stress and that pressure is really there. So we're going to talk about this today, ways to get on top of your finances. And if you take this seriously, this could be a real start of big change, of minding your mind and really changing around your life. So I encourage you to listen well. This segment is actually in response to a question I got from Chris in California. Before I read that, I just want to encourage all of my listeners. I'd love to hear from you guys, questions, comments, and anything. Just go to my site, mindyourmindonline.com, and ask Joseph, ask away, because your questions tell me what you're interested in, and they make great topics for things that I'm happy to talk about and answer. Can't answer all of them, but definitely looking forward to hearing from you. So this is Chris in California. Joe, I can't seem to get on top of my finances. Perhaps this is the wrong place to ask for help, but can you give me some tips? Thanks. Well, Chris, I have news for you. This is actually the right place to get help, because as Dave Ramsey, who you're going to be hearing a lot of from me today, always teaches, that getting out of debt is 80% behavior and only 20% knowledge. So people that think they don't know what they're doing, they don't know how to do it, it's actually wrong. It's just your negative behavior. You know what you're supposed to be doing, but it's your bad habits and your negative behavior that's keeping you in debt and keeping you drowning. So this is the right place to talk about debt. And I'm going to give you 5 tips. If you listen to them well, you really could be on your feet. How long is it going to take? I don't know. I don't know what your situation is. Obviously, there's a lot of variables about what your income is, how much debt you have. But certainly, if you take responsibility and move forward with these tips, you're going to see a big change, and you will be able to make changes. And in fact, a lot of my clients have made changes in months, some of them multiple months, maybe 10 months, 20 months, 30 months, but enough that they've gone on their feet and paid off much of their debt. And it's an amazing thing to watch. Of course, the disclaimer here is that you need to speak to a financial advisor, and there's obviously a lot of variables and factors in finances, but I'm tackling the mental health part. That is what stops us and keeps us out of taking care of ourselves. So let's get started. We're talking about my favorite quote for the day, and this is from Dave Ramsey. He said he actually got this from someone else, but I'm going to give him credit for it because that's where I learned it from, and that's where I read about it from him. A budget is telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. Such brilliant words, and so important. That's really going to be the theme of today. We want to try to eliminate debt, get on top of our finances, and if you are here and you're listening and you're saying to yourself, that's it, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, as Dave Ramsey says it, then you can make a difference in your life and you could start making some significant changes. So let's go through a list. Number 1, take responsibility. And I hinted to this originally. In the mental health field, when people are just simply blaming others, they are very unempowered, they are very disempowered, they're victims, and they are never going to get out of it because they always believe that they're being controlled by someone else. And so you need to take responsibility. Yeah, there are plenty of bad things that happen, and many of them are not your fault. It's not your fault that someone crashed your car. It's not your fault that your student debt had a higher rate than you thought, or it got sold to a different company. It's not your fault that you lost a job. Of course not. I'm not blaming you, and I'll give you a lot of sympathy and empathy, and you can come in here and talk to me or talk to your own therapist or anyone you want. There's a lot of sympathy and empathy to be given, mostly empathy, right? But you need to take responsibility for your situation. Whether you stay in that place, whether you give up and throw your hands up, that's going to be up to you. And I know that debt is overwhelming. It's extremely overwhelming. It's extremely painful, but you can make changes. So the first thing is, let's just change your mindset, because I believe that if you could change your mindset, then you could work together with your accountability partner, which we'll get to, and you could work together with other people and get the proper advice you need and really get this plan moving. So get out of that mentality of I'm a slave and I'm hopeless and I'm never going to get out of this debt, and take some responsibility for your situation and believe and know that you can and will make it better. That's the first. Number two, get on a budget. I know that the B word is very scary for most people, but if you don't know what's coming in and out, I mean, I meet with people all the time and I say to them, okay, well, how much are you bringing in every month and how much are you spending? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to look. Come on, guys. Give me a break. What you don't know can't kill you. Of course it can. I mean, if there's poison in your cup and someone doesn't tell you and you drink it, is that going to impact you? Of course it is. If you don't know what's going on with your money, you don't know how much you owe, what your monthly expenses are, what your variable expenses are, what your fixed expenses are, how are you ever going to figure this out? So get on a budget, sit down, write down everything, keep track of it. I mean, you could get Dave Ramsey's app for free, which tracks your money for free. Called Every Dollar. Look it up, you'll see. And you don't upgrade, don't waste your money on the automatic one. You get used to it, sit there and put in the money once a week. Sit down and write down exactly what you're spending. You got it as part of taking responsibility. This is the next level. Get on a budget and know what you're doing with your money. If you want to learn how to do that, then look at Dave Ramsey's book, The Total Money Makeover, or check out his programs. Yes, I'm pushing for him very much because I think he's great. Is he very blunt? Yes, he is. But do we need people that are blunt when we're trying to get out of debt? About 90% of my clients do. If you don't like his style, that's fine. You can look him up. There's plenty to read. There are other people that do the same thing he does with a more gentle style. But he is, in my opinion, one of the best out there. And he's been doing this for the longest, 25 years. And he's a real trusted voice in this field. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get any benefit. I just think that he has a great program. He also has an online program called Financial Peace University that could help you get on a budget and do his 7 baby steps, he calls them. I'll warn you now, they're not baby steps. They're big steps, but he calls them baby steps because you got to start somewhere, and he teaches you where to start. Number 3 is called Start with Debt Snowball, and this is a very controversial one of the steps from Dave Ramsey, which is after you're getting on a budget, and according to him, you have an emergency fund of $1,000 or more, and again, you could go check out his works and see exactly what he is recommending. But there's a debt snowball, and for this part, I want you to write down all the debt that you have: credit card debt, bills, outstanding bills, medical bills or other late payment bills, student loans, any debt that you have, and just write them down, and then put them in smallest to largest order, and start paying off the smallest ones last, and paying all the minimum payments on all the other ones. Now, if one of them is killing you with interest rates, okay, then obviously use your brain and figure it out. But generally speaking, if we start paying off, oh, look, I knocked this $1,000 one. Oh, look, I knocked this $1,500 one. You're going to feel a lot better about yourself. And that's the debt snowball. Just start paying them off one at a time. Number 4, reach out for accountability or help. And again, I can't encourage you enough to do this. We all need help. We all get stuck sometimes. And it's really important to be able to reach out, whether it's to a buddy. Family members are tricky, but definitely buddy, or possibly some paid help, which sometimes is free with your work. Sometimes they have employee assistant programs that includes this, or you'd be surprised what it costs sometimes, how little it costs to get a financial coach. Now, don't start spending money on people that are trying to mess up your credit, or quote unquote claim they're going to fix your credit or consolidate your loans. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just a financial advisor that could sit down with you and help you do your budget and get on track. We're talking about maybe $100, $200. Don't spend more than that unless you're in dire straits, in which case check out Dave Ramsey's program first, because that's a better $100, and you could buy his book for $10, $15 too. All right, so reach out for accountability and help. Final thing is celebrate your success and set clear goals. And I'm throwing 2 things in there, but they're really the same. Celebrate your success, because once you start getting traction, you're going to become addicted to this. You're going to love paying off your debt. You're going to love, you're not going to love your debt, but you're going to love that freedom that it brings you. And you're going to love living with accountability, because as you start paying off your debt and you start getting your life in order, everything else is going to fall into place. No, it's not going to fix your problems, but it's amazing how when we get on a plan, we become more regimented and we become more focused and on living our life consciously that so many other things fall into place. So again, I want to remind you that if you're stuck in debt, you're normal. Okay. Like Dave Ramsey always says, it's normal to be in debt. $18,000 is the average of most people are in debt. But that doesn't mean you have to live like that. Our goal is to be abnormal. Get rid of the debt. Live with freedom. Debt is a hard thing. It pulls us down. It changes us. And I'm hoping that today I gave you a financial awakening. Yes, this is a mental health topic because so many people that are in debt, so many people that are not managing their money correctly, when they make that change and they make that commitment to really work on getting debt free and taking control of their finances, amazing things happen and amazing changes happen in them. I thank you so much for listening. It means so much to me. If I could impact anyone, could change one person's life. I mean, listen to Dave Ramsey's radio show. You hear every day how many people have been changed by him. Check him out if you haven't figured it out. I'm a big fan of him. Good stuff. He's got a podcast too. Hey, he's not competing with me. It's a whole different field. So take a look there. And by the way, thanks so much for all your support in helping make this podcast possible. If you enjoy what you hear, please just check us out. Write us a quick review. Make sure that other people can find out about us. Share us with a friend, because my goal here is to help you mind your mind and live a better life. When you get on top of your finances after following the steps here, I think that you're going to really be very thankful, and reach out to me and let me know how I helped you. And maybe we'll even feature you on the show and you could tell us how things changed from this day on when you heard this. So make a mental note that you're going to make changes and get out there and let me know how your life gets better. All right, take care.
Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to mind your mind. For more practical ideas and to make sure you never miss an episode, visit us at mindyourmindonline.com.